What on earth is Li Dayin doing? And why is he doing it? Let's take a look at how Li Dayin, aka Mr TooMuchMuscle, trains days before doing this. Becoming the best 89 in the world, setting multiple world records and shocking the weightlifting community. The training that tapers Li Dayin perfectly to be number one. Exactly 7 days out from becoming the number 189 in the world, moving ahead of the likes of Carlos Nassar, Antonino Pizzolatto, and teammates Tian Tao and Liu Hanhua, aka Li Dayin turned up to the training hall. 7 days out from competition, and training looks very different to how it does 17 or 70 days out from competition. Ultimately, you can't make yourself a better weightlifter at this point, but you can make yourself a worse one. The taper has to be spot on. You have to reduce the fatigue, the tiredness that you feel while speed and technical skill are revealed. How do you reduce fatigue? In general, less work, fewer reps, lighter weight, less time and attention, lower frequency. But reduce it too much and you run the risk of doing too little, which can have negative effects. A reduction in your sport-specific fitness, i.e. your ability to hit a truly maximal 1 RM. But do too much and you never truly reduce your fatigue sufficiently. Fatigue suppresses speed, but that doesn't make fatigue a bad thing. It's a necessary feeling. It's the correct byproduct of developing strength, building muscle mass, something you need to have done way further out than this workout, 7 days before competing. So here he is, Mr TooMuchMuscle, power clean and jerking up to 170 kilos, a weight he can snatch for an opener, a weight he pulls so high in the power clean that he barely has to bend his knees to catch it. He can practice the skill of the pull, retain the feel of how to lift correctly while using such little weight, for him, that it barely induces any fatigue. No doubt he can power significantly more. Who knows, perhaps he can match Carlos Nassar's 200 kilo power clean. But that would defeat the purpose of this workout. Reduce fatigue, reveal your 1 RM power, and retain skill. If he was catching deeper, putting on the brakes at around 90-degree knee angle, stuck in an isometric hold as he fights to reverse the direction of a crashing bar, he'd be doing the opposite of what he needs. He'd be increasing fatigue. Next up, it will be front squats. But again, just light, 200 kilos, the kind of weight he'd open with in the clean and jerk. Enough to go through the motions, feel some resistance. Slow the reduction in fatigue just enough so as not to lose fitness without contributing to the fatigue. And then in a variation I tend to only see the Chinese do so close to competition, a heavy hold. No real range of motion, so no real breakdown of muscle tissue or fatigue buildup, but definitely stimulating. Some long-term form of post-activation potentiation, kind of like swinging a weighted bat or sprinting with bands. He did that up to 260 kilos, 120% of his clean and jerk. I asked weightlifting AI to generate me a 13-week program so that I could look at what I'd be given a week out from competition and compare it to Li Dayin, and it actually looked pretty similar. I got power position, power clean and jerks, so similar to him except even less fatigue because we're going from the hip. Heavy clean pulls, which I guess is why we went from the hip, also similar to what he had with the heavy pulls on the previous workout. Some belt squats rather than front squats to keep stimulating my legs while reducing back fatigue, and some accessories. Even core, but oblique stuff. Maybe not as flashy and cool as Li Dayin's side bends, but maybe we can remedy that. If I want to do exactly what Li Dayin is doing, I just have to type that in, specify power jerks, switch those to front squats, and you get the point. Try weightlifting AI for free with code 2weektrial and make sure you taper right. Link below. And then Li Dayin finishes off with a few isometrics, holding a band in knee flexion for his quads, and then resisting the other direction for his hammies. It's a classic Chinese accessory close to competition. So that's 1 week out. I wonder if he knew what he was about to do a week later in competition. I guess he must have done. He must have known he'd go for a 180 kilo world record snatch. And then if he made it, a 216 kilo clean and jerk for the world record total. I do wonder though, had he not missed the jerk when he tried the 216 kilos for the first time, would he have jumped to 222 kilos for the world record in the clean and jerk too, like Tian touted? A 402 kilo total that would have been. Now I'm not saying he'd have made it, but I bet he'd have made the clean. Please subscribe for more.